Welcome to this video and this Pura 70 Ultra 4K 60 frames per second comparison video against the Honor Magic 6 Pro that I have here in my hands, and you can see it is focusing hopefully nicely on it. And yeah, this is the front-facing camera that I'm using here. By the way, it has the possibility to record 4K 60 frames per second. However, you don't have HDR capabilities like on the main camera sensor when recording 4K 60. Nevertheless, we have 4K 60 ability here on the front-facing camera, and the ability to even like go into a super wide-angle mode here. There you can see my hand slightly. There we go. Maybe this is a little bit better to hold. And yeah, this is super wide angle mode, perfect for vlogging. We can go to 1x, which looks like this, and if we want to, we can also go down to 0.8x, which looks like this. Now let's compare it with the front-facing camera that we have here on the Magic 6 Pro. So let's do it. This is now the Honor Magic 6 Pro, and this one has also the front-facing camera autofocus. As you can see here, it's focusing on the Pura 70 Ultra quite nicely. We are, however, at 4K 30 frames per second because the front-facing camera here on the Honor Magic 6 Pro doesn't have 4K 60 frames per second. However, we have a wide angle 0.8 times and we have 1 times, which looks like this. So what do you think about this one here using the internal mics on the Magic 6 Pro? Now I'm recording with the main camera sensor, the 1-inch type sensor on the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra, and this is a very cool kind of camera because we have a variable aperture here, and in contrast to the Honor, this can not only change between 2 aperture modes or openings, but between various different ones. I think it's 10 or 11 that you can switch between. So f1.6 to f4, so f1.6, f1.8, f2, f2.2, f2.4, f2.6, f2.8, and so on. So you can see they have a lot of engineering work that they put in here. 4K 60 frames per second. Others, like I told you before, it can also record HDR at 4K 60 frames per second. That was basically me lying, or I was like wrong. You can only do it at 4K 30 frames per second, so you will get now the normal kind of video mode, SDR video quality. And you know this already, that from a previous video, that face color might be a little bit wrong there, a bit reddish or a little bit like contrast less. So what do you think about this one? 4K 60 frames per second allows me to to switch between all lenses. So I can go here to the ultra wide angle just by tapping a button. Now I'm on the ultra wide angle here. This ultra wide angle is a large 40 megapixel kind of sensor, has autofocus as well, and wide field of view as well. And if I want to, of course, I have the possibility to use also the tele zoom lens here on the Pura 70 Ultra. So let's do this, and let's zoom in on my favorite bridge there in the background. Let's go to 4 times zoom and then directly 10 times zoom, which is the maximum zoom that you can do here on the Pura 70 Ultra, and I cannot zoom in any further. What do you think about the quality here? Stability wise, I think it's doing quite good. What do you think about the audio quality, because it means the internal mics here? And now I'm recording with the Honor Magic 6 Pro. This one also features a very large sensor, but not as large, 1/1.3 inch size sensor as the main sensor. It also has a variable aperture, but it can only switch between 2 options. I think it's f1.4 and f2 where it can switch to, and I think, because I see the shutter blades here right now, not the shutter blade, the aperture blades, that it is at f2, just like I think the Pura 70 Ultra was also recording video at f2. So what do you think about the quality here? 4K 60 frames per second allows me also to switch between all lenses, so I have also the ability to switch to the ultra wide angle. So just by tap of a button, has a nice zoom animation or zoom out animation there, 0.6 times. Is it as wide as the Pura 70 Ultra here in this regard? It has also autofocus, it has close focusing options there as well. So if you want to do some macro kind of photography or something like this, it is also possible here on the ultra wide angle of the Honor Magic 6 Pro. How's HDR, how are colors here, especially face color and so on. 4K 60 frames per second. I'm not sure if we can record HDR here by default. It is also set up to record HDR. I'm not sure if it's doing this. Otherwise, let's try to take a zoom test there. I can go directly to the 2.6 times zoom lens, which is like the periscope zoom with a super large 1/1.5 inch size sensor. I can zoom in then up to 10 times, and this is what I get there at 4K 60. So what do you think about the quality here? about the stability. Stability looks good, but how does it compete with the a bit further reaching zoom lens, but a little bit smaller sensor on the Pura 70 Ultra? And how are the internal mics here on the Honor Magic 6 Pro? Let's go back to 1x, which is, I think, a jump. It was not really zooming out from this 10 time. What do you think about those two here? I will do a side-by-side comparison as well, so we will check out the quality of both of them right now. Front-facing video, what we can see here on the front-facing video is the Pura 70 Ultra is much more yellow, where the Magic 6 Pro is a bit more contrasty looking, but also a bit more bluer. There you can see the green grass is much more pronounced here on the Pura 70 Ultra. The Pura makes it look like it was a summer day, also with the glooming there in the background. But at least my face is nice and sharp. The rest is a bit like, getting less sharp. You have the autofocus there, Magic 6 Pro as well. There's also a bit of glooming, also like nice and sharp there. I think in terms of detail levels, they are both the same with the background there. It's just like the colors are much more greener, much more bluish here, not so yellowish there. And I think it's a bit more narrow on the Magic 6 Pro in comparison to the 70 Ultra. And when we go in here and check the focus, what we can see is that the Pura 70 Ultra is also focusing, but when I get a bit closer, you will see it's getting out of focus and the background is in focus. Might be the motive, might be misfocusing. The Magic 6 Pro doesn't have this issue there, but it has, maybe it's like also detecting something, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, here it's in focus and the next it's not in focus, where the Magic 6 Pro keeps it in focus all the time. But then you can see also like the focus changing is working fine. We can switch between the ultra wide angle, which has a nice smooth animation on the Pura 70 Ultra, as you can see here. So it has a nice animation there, where on the Magic 6 Pro, when I switch to the ultra wide angle, you will see in a second that it is doing this. Let's go, where is it? It's the more zoomed in shot. There is no ultra wide angle, there's only the more zoom in shot. And this more zoomed in shot has also like, not like smooth zoom in, but it's like switching from there. And here, when I tap on the 1x shot on the Pura 70 Ultra, you will see that it is also like, it has like a bit of like a strong switch to the lens there. It's also switching, but not as abruptly as the Magic 6 Pro is doing, and it's still a bit wider than the Magic 6 Pro for some reason. And yeah, you can see the more punchy colors on the Pura 70 Ultra, a bit more warmish kind of face there, and the Magic 6 Pro a bit cooled and cooler kind of face there. Which one would you prefer? I think the Magic 6 Pro looks a bit more natural, but I have to say, because the sun was coming out from one side and from the other side we have dark clouds, maybe this more yellowish kind of makes more sense there, because it was like more like this there than what the Magic 6 Pro made it look like. The Magic 6 Pro made it look like a gloomy day, but where's the sun there? It's the warmth is missing that was there at this stage there on this day. So what do you think about those both here? I think they're both pretty fine and pretty comparable. Now the main camera sensor is pretty amazing, because both have done the opposite from each other. So where the Pura 70 Ultra has this overexposure on my face, I would say a little bit, and the background, the Magic 6 Pro has everything a little bit too dark. We have like the clouds visible, or in between the clouds the sky visible a little bit more, but it's a bit too dark. I have to say the Magic 6 Pro, however, has one cool feature that I did use here. It's 4K 60 frames per second. It's recording in HDR, where the Pura 70 Ultra can only do it in 30 frames per second, not in 60 frames per second in 4K. So there's a difference that might have come into play as well. The Magic 6 Pro is SDR now here, because I just moved it over via KD Connect. If I share it from my phone, it will automatically convert it to SDR, and this is what you can get there. When it comes to bokeh and so on and sharpness, you can see it's nice and sharp, maybe a little bit too sharp, over sharpened. It's a bit of busy bokeh there. And when you go into the Magic 6 Pro, you can see it's much softer, much nicer looking, in my opinion, on the Magic 6 Pro there, even though we have this separation still, and not so much of a busy, maybe there's a bit busy, there's not so much busy. kind of bokeh. When we take a look at stabilization and so on, both are very, very comparable. When I go a bit further, you can see the typical issues that we have with the Pura 70 Ultra when we don't record HDR, overexposure on the face and weird colors there on the face. When I go a little bit further here, you will see that it gets better. With the Magic 6 Pro, however, if I go there, you can see it gets worse. Actually, this was still good, I think, also in face color. Maybe a bit too greenish there, the face color. But as soon as you go here, you see stabilization is also fine there. A bit maybe more cropped in or is holding it wrong. But here, I think, here the Pura 70 Ultra has like an edge over the Magic 6 Pro in terms of face color and exposure. Yes, it's a bit sharpened up. Is it too sharp? Maybe a tiny bit over sharpened there. Huawei tends to do this. The bokeh is nice there, where the Magic 6 Pro, it is much softer looking, but also more natural looking. I like this a lot more. The bokeh is much more busy there. We have a smaller sensor there for sure that you can see there. HDR, I think both are doing a fine job with the HDR, overexposure there in the background. Like I said, from one side there was the sun and I'm walking now towards the clouds. And when we go and zoom out, let's see the zoom out animation on the Pura 70 Ultra. Nice and smooth. You can see there's a slight color shift. Let's do it again. You can see from here the colors, and when it zooms out, there you saw it. It's getting a bit darker there, more contrasty. Now on the Magic 6 Pro, let's go to the ultra wide angle as well here, and let's see how this will look like on the Magic 6 Pro. You can see not so much of a color shift. It's like a different animation for the zoom out, a little bit faster, I think. But I don't see much of a color shift here, which is quite nice. But on the other hand, you see now we have an issue with HDR on the ultra wide angle on the Magic 6 Pro. So I go in here in full screen, you can see that the color changed here. My face color changed a little bit, has this overexposure issue. And the colors look wrong, completely wrong. And here on the Pura 70 Ultra, everything is a bit more yellowish, glooming all the time. You can see that in terms of HDR, it tries to do its best there, even though it's not recording HDR. And it's gloomy, gloomy, gloomy. And yeah, it has a focusing issue as well. As you see, it's focusing on the background, but my face is not in focus anymore. Where here on the Magic 6 Pro, the face is at least in focus. So yeah, this is, both are not perfect there in this sense, and you can see a little bit of blue there, basically the same as there. Both I don't like in terms of colors. Maybe I would stick more towards the Pura than the Honor there, because this looks a bit too fake. But I think maybe which one would be easier to correct there? Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure which one would be better. They're both not doing a great job there in terms of colors. But I think, yeah, because the face is more exposed here on the Pura 70 Ultra, maybe the Pura 70 Ultra. But yeah, it's out of focus there. It doesn't matter for the ultra wide angle. I think it matters still. Let's go and check the zoom. Like I said, the dark clouds on the other side there, you can see the much more contrasty kind of look that we have on the Pura 70 Ultra with the colors there, which is much more natural looking on the Magic 6 Pro. So yeah, I think that in terms of colors here, the Magic 6 Pro wins. When we zoom in, however, let's go. This is, I think, already the 10 times zoom, and let's go here, 10 times zoom. There we go. What we can see here, yeah, on first glance it appears to be the Magic 6 Pro is the winner. It has a darker exposure, however, and yes, they have a larger sensor. But why is it looking better? Because it's way over sharpened, as you can see here. It has more detail for sure. We have a large sensor, large pixels and so on, but it's over sharpening the hell out of this picture here. But the detail level is better on the Magic 6 Pro than the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra. Pura 70 Ultra is quite soft, as you can see here, and the detail level is not as great as on the Honor there. But I like the colors, a bit more raised colors there. More realistic, definitely the Magic 6 Pro, because this is how it looked like. So here I think in terms of zoom, yes, the Magic 6 Pro I think overall would be the better solution there. What about the zoom animation? Let's check the Pura 70 Ultra. Very nice zoom animation, but you see the switch when zooming in. And let's check out the Magic 6 Pro's zoom. And when I zoom in, you can see a different zoom animation, slightly like jumpy, but also the major switch there in terms of colors. Also a major switch, but maybe not so much as you see here, when it's like going from this bright kind of shot to this, with this jump. So yes, animation wise, I think the Pura 70 Ultra is doing a bit better. Detail levels and so on, yeah, even though like there's a little bit of weird colors going on in the Magic 6 Pro, I think here, especially with the 2.5x zoom, you can clearly see against the 3.5x zoom that the Pura 70 Ultra has the way better sensor there, and this shows in this lower kind of zoom ranges for sure. So zoom goes to the Magic 6 Pro main camera. I think the Pura 70 Ultra is doing better. Ultra wide angle, both are not perfect there, with maybe the slight edge to the Magic 6 Pro. So yeah, video wise, I think Huawei with its 4K 60 frames per second at least has to get a bit better. The Magic 6 Pro is doing a better job there, especially in terms of, mostly in terms of colors, I would say, even though it's not perfect. Over sharpened a bit on the Pura 70 Ultra, where the Magic 6 Pro has, I think, the better sharpness there for sure as well. So I'm quite surprised, because this is probably the first time the Magic or an Honor device is winning against a flagship, super flagship device from Huawei in terms of this video kind of comparison. What do you think about these findings? Write it down in the comment section. That's everything for this short little video, and I will do a full camera comparison between them as well as the Pura 70 Ultra against the Oppo Find X7 Ultra and many others. That's it. Until the next time. Bye.